Chapter 19. The newsroom was empty except for the hum of machines and the steady tap of her own fingers on the keyboard. Eleanor sat alone beneath the glow of an overhead light, shoulders tense, back aching. A mostly finished script sat open on her screen, her follow-up segment for the noon bulletin. She hadn't decided whether to send it in. The first piece had run barely 15 hours ago. Clean and professional, just enough to raise eyebrows, just enough to make viewers remember Shira Black's name. The network was thrilled. Her editor had already asked if she wanted to do a sit-down. She hadn't answered. Matthew hadn't messaged, hadn't called. Not even a passive-aggressive one-liner. She stared at her phone screen for the 100th time. Still nothing. She leaned back in her chair and closed her eyes. Was it worth it? The scoop? The buzz? The distance growing between them like a slow infection? Her eyelids were heavy. She dozed off more than once tonight, half dreaming, heart twisted in knots of guilt and stubborn pride. Then came the sound, not loud, not sudden, just present, like someone exhaling right behind her. She froze. Her eyes snapped open and she turned. There, standing in the doorway to the editor's office, shadowed but unmistakable, was Shira Black. Eleanor stood slowly. "You shouldn't be here." "I'm not," Shira replied. "You are, too late and too alone." Her voice was quiet, controlled, almost gentle, but there was no warmth in it. Eleanor's pulse quickened. She glanced at her phone on the desk, as if thinking of recording the moment. Shira stepped forward once. "Don't," she said, voice still low. Elena didn't move. "You have 30 seconds, she said, masking the tremor in her voice. "After that, I call security." "No," Shira said simply. "You won't." The silence between them stretched. Shira's gaze didn't waver. "You spoke about me on television," she said. "You used a photo taken without my consent. You implied involvement in an ongoing criminal investigation with zero context, all because Matthew trusted you." Eleanor flinched, just a fraction. "I didn't name him," she said. "But you used what he gave you," Shira replied. "You said just enough to make it sting. Not too far, not too much, but enough to cross a line." Eleanor swallowed hard. "This is a public case. I have a right to report." "No," Shira cut in. "You had a choice, not a right, and you made the wrong one." Eleanor's jaw tightened. "Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you," Shira said calmly. "This is where it ends. You can't just walk in here and tell me to stop doing my job." "I can," Shira said, stepping closer. "Because I'm not telling you to stop for your sake." Her eyes were steady now, locked on Elena's. "I'm telling you to stop for his." The room felt colder. Elena's mouth went dry. "Matthew?" "You've already made things complicated for him," Shira continued. "He should have known better. But he didn't. And now you've dragged him too close to something he's not built to handle." Elena shook her head. "What are you even talking about? He's a cop. He knows what's going on." "No," Shira said, and for the first time her voice softened, not with sympathy, but something like disappointment. "He doesn't. And he won't." Elena's breath caught. Shira stepped beside her now slowly, quietly, like a shadow moving along the edge of the room. "You think this is about a headline, a career, but it's not. It's about knowing when to stop digging, when to walk away." "And if I don't?" Shira didn't answer at first. Instead, she reached into her coat and pulled out a small flash drive. She placed it gently on the desk. "What's this?" Shira looked at her but did not answer. Eleanor didn't pick it up. Shira stepped back toward the shadows. No more broadcasts, no more photos, no more fishing. "And if I say no?" Shira stopped halfway to the door. "If you say no," she said, "Matthew loses his job. He'll implicate it as a leak. An internal inquiry will start and you'll be forced to testify." A pause. And someone will make sure your relationship becomes part of the official record. Eleanor felt like she'd been slapped. Shira didn't move. I'm not the villain here, she said quietly. I'm just the one cleaning up the mess. She turned then, walking away, leaving silence in her wake. Eleanor stared at the flash drive. Her fingers hovered over it, then curled into a fist. She didn't pick it up, not yet, not for a long time.